Hangout is live, which means we're going. Here we go. Wing Your Boxing Podcast number 1. The last one we done was 0. It's like a preliminary. This is number 1. We're in it. Shout out to Compact. What's going on, brother?
All good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, I'm very well, thank you. Thank you, sir. Nishad, a lot of you remember the legend that is Nishad from the older days. What's going on, Nishad, brother?
Stop it, man. Stop it. What's up, man? How you today?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good. Right, those of you who don't know, the format of the podcast is, if you want to get on it, there you go. Who's that? Rob! What's going on, Rob? You right, mate?
Yeah, you right, mate? How you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. Thanks for joining us, man.
No problem.
Right, so basically the layout is, if you want to come on, all you got to do is get hold of me at the Twitter, at UKWC Student, or the Facebook. Someone's got some loud noise in the background, man. Who is that? I can hear like something really loud in the background. Is that like a fan or something?
Not me.
Hold on, that is just killing the vibe. You didn't do a sound check. Hold on a minute. Let me just do something. See? No. Hold on. Right, it's not Nishad. Hold on about this. Hold on. Oh shit, I muted him now. This is an absolute nightmare. How do I mute him? Damn, I've just muted Nishad. Sorry.
Right.
Oh, there you go. You're on.
Yeah, I think I had to unmute myself. Yeah. Weird.
It's gone a bit quieter now. That's better. No, there's still something there. Hold on. Let me try and mute. Yeah, Compact, it's you, brother. Yeah, it's you, brother. Sorry, people, but sorry, everyone. I'm like, what's going on with the sound? Let me check this out. Sorry, mate. Yeah, Compact, brother. It's you. It's
man.
I've muted you, and it's now crystal clear. So I'm going to unmute you. It should unmute you in a minute. I'm going to unmute you, and then you need to sort out. There's some kind of sound going on in the background. It's like you've got a Boeing 747 jet landing, mate. Right, so what we're going to do, we're going to talk all the topics. Obviously, the controversial Brian Rose, Carson Jones stoppage. I don't know what's going on there, but everyone's pissed off with that. All the usual talk. Paul Smith going up against Artur Abraham too. All the usual stuff. Rob, mate, I did hope to have a quick chat with you beforehand. I hope you're well, man, and sorry for just, you're literally on live now, but that's basically how we roll here. You good? Everything all cool, yeah?
Yeah, everything's alright, mate. You alright?
Yeah. Did you watch the Carson Jones Brian Rose fight?
Yeah. It was not well for as long as it lasted.
Now, you said to me, you told me beforehand, you must have told me on Twitter, didn't you? You're under a different name on Twitter, aren't you?
Yeah, Canvas Madness, yeah.
Okay. What are your thoughts on the fight? Tell me your thoughts on the fight, and everybody's saying, this is an absolute outrage. It must be Al Heyman. What do you think?
Al Heyman.
It's Al Heyman every day.
It's Al Heyman every day.
No, so what are your thoughts?
Sorry, man, sorry.
Well, straight away he said that he buzzed in. He did, but it wasn't nowhere near the same as the way he got him later on, and it was just pretty much average. Well, it was pretty much average fight, average start, really.
Yeah, I mean, by the way, Compact, I'm trying to unmute you. I'm not quite sure what's happened. You might want to.
I think he might have to unmute himself. I think.
Yeah, Compact, unmute yourself, mate, because I muted you just because there was a noise. See if you sorted out that noise. With regards to that, Rob, yeah, that's how I thought. I watched the fight before the controversy, just watched it and thought, oh, that's quite surprising. But fair enough, okay, yeah, it's a stoppage. And then went on to the Wiggy Boxing Facebook group and fucking hell! All hell broke loose. All hell broke loose. My thoughts are, I looked at it, he took 8, I did actually count 8 clean punches. He didn't respond. Now, the stoppage in itself, if you're taking all of world boxing into account, was an early stoppage, right?
Yeah.
But if you're taking UK boxing into account, we know that we stop earlier here. I've seen loads worse stoppages. And the irony is, there was actually a worse stoppage than that on the same night. So it's a difficult one for me. I do see people's arguments. I'm not saying the stoppage wasn't early. What I'm saying is we see these all the time. That's my feelings on it. You got anything to add to that, Rob?
Yeah, I reckon some of Anthony Joshua's stoppages were worse than that.
Oh, that was Anthony Joshua. They just put me in the spot like that. Well, they were a little bit.
Oh, man.
You know what, brother? you've made a very good point, because even the Michael Sprott, people know how much I love the Michael Sprott. Even that stoppage was it was the same sort of thing, and that's a great example. I should use that in my video. You are right. It's like, it's no different to that sort of stoppage, is it? It's just because it's somebody that we like, we feel different about it. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, of course. But that's the thing. I like Jones as well, so I didn't mind either way. To be fair.
Yeah. So I don't know. Right, Nisha, did you see that fight? Did you say you ain't seen that yet?
I saw that 30 minutes ago.
Okay, cool.
It's fresh in my mind. So I saw the fight. I thought it was Brian Rose did spark him at the spark Carson Jones, but then I thought Carson Jones got into the clean shots, and then when I first seen it, I didn't think it was that bad as a stoppage. You know, we see bad stoppages in UK all the time, don't we? So you'd think it wasn't that bad, but then I lost my words now. What was I about to say?
Oh, great start, brother. Jesus.
Yeah, man.
No, just keep going. No, I hear what you're saying. I know what you're saying. It's but I want to get some people in who genuinely do feel that, you know, this was the worst. I've seen comments on people.
It's not the worst stoppage. It's definitely not the worst stoppage.
People have said that. Somebody said. I went to the Godfather's page. Obviously, we all know the Godfather. The Godfather. And I was reading. That's right. I was reading the comments in this section, and some people were like, "This is the worst stoppage I've ever seen." I'm thinking, well, cool, but how many fights have you seen? Like, if you're a casual fight fan, and say if you're following Brian Rose, and that's the first like big, do you know what I'm saying?
Might be second, because maybe they've seen the George Groves fight with Carl Froch, so I think that's kind of similar to it as well. Don't you think, the first one?
Yeah, it's the same sort of thing. It's the same. It's I mean, with that fight, I think Rose was probably out more because he was just taking more shots.
He wasn't thrown back at all. That's the thing that, you know, that if you want to play devil's advocate, I think that's the only reason to play. He wasn't fighting back at all. But I think the referee, you know, at least he gave him a standing count. At worst, you know, gave him like a standing count or something, just to see if he's okay or not. But you know, it's what it is.
Carmpack, if you're listening, brother, I don't know if you can hear me, but unmute yourself. I can't unmute you. I briefly muted you because I could hear the sound of several fighter jets in the background, and it was just a little bit too loud, or maybe it was a train going past. So unmute yourself. Click unmute on the Google thing, because otherwise you're not going to be able to talk. I've also sent you Twitter saying unmute yourself. I mean, I've spoke to, like I said, I spoke to behind the scenes. I spoke to Bobby Rimmer, Rose's trainer, literally about 30 minutes ago. I spoke to Ian John Lewis 30 minutes ago, just to get their thoughts. And I don't want to get out there what they've said, because I get myself into any shit. But both sides are sort of sticking. Both sides are sticking to their argument, but they're saying, in effect, I can see if people have the opposite view of it. Do you know what I'm saying? Even Team Rose. Even Team Rose is saying, okay, I can see people have got that view, but obviously we support our boy and blah, 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 blah. So, I don't know. Anybody else listening? Oh, right, I forgot to say. If you're listening and you want to leave a question in the YouTube comment. If you're listening on YouTube, leave a question in the YouTube comments box right now. And the most experienced boxing knowledge panel here, which is Nishad, he's the most experienced boxing brain on the panel, will answer all your boxing. It ain't me. Will answer all your boxing questions. Right, let me just go and see now what's going on, and then we'll move on to the next topic, because unless you guys got anything to say. Oh, here we go. He's back, and can everybody hear the fighter jets in the background?
They're landing.
Yeah, that's a little bit better, brother. I don't know what it is. Have you got a fan on or something?
Bro, do you know what it is? I think it's my laptop, bro. It's about to blow up or something.
Oh, right, okay. If you can get away from that, that would be really good. Like, move further away, because it's really loud.
Is it causing a lot of noise?
Yeah, it's causing a lot of noise. I literally just had Ian John Lewis say he's going to stop the podcast if we carry on with this. So,
let me try it on my phone. I'll try and get on my phone. And then,
yeah, try and get on your phone, but come back on, brother. Come back on, man.
All right, cool.
Right. What was I going to say? Yeah, so the rematch. Rob, how do you think Brian Rose would do in the rematch? I was speaking to Team Rose and that, and saying, look, you guys should go for a rematch, blah, blah, blah. It'd probably make more money because it'd be more controversy. We know that rematches off of bad stoppages, Groves, Froch, always make big money. So it'd be a bigger money fight, more controversy. Rob, how do you think Rose would do?
It was a tough one, really, obviously, because we didn't get to see a lot. I don't know. Carson looked alright at the weight, to be fair. I don't know. I think it would be a good fight, though, if it went on for more rounds. I think it would be turn into sort of a slugfest.
Yeah, because it's interesting. I actually thought Rose's jab would be more dominant. I didn't do a pick for the fight. I didn't have time, but I actually thought Rose's jab would be more dominant and would keep him off. But Jones seemed to sort of get in there quick. But did you notice how the punch hit him on the ear? Kind of, he was like turning, wasn't he? And it kind of hit him on the ear.
David Price.
Yeah, exactly. That's when he did the David Price. So I don't know. Anybody listening, if you want to join in the podcast, just send me a private message at Twitter or Facebook or I don't know, something, and then you can come on it. No worries. Right, let's have a look to see whether anybody's left anything in the left anything in the comment section. What have we got here? Steve Batchelor says he's going in hard with the Spa Pringles. Don't worry about that. It's just an inside joke, everybody. Right, let's move on. Unless anybody wants to come back to that at another time. What else? What have we got here? Golovkin versus Murray. The time is now. They never give Murray his just due. I actually had Murray beating Sergio Martinez. I actually had Murray. I had Murray losing against Stern, but I thought it was a good fight. I actually think Murray's a tough dude, and you know what? I think he's going to give Golovkin all he can handle. Nishad, how do you see the fight going, mate?
Yeah, it's probably Golovkin's toughest fight, but I still see Golovkin winning this by KO. That's what I see, really. It's Golovkin in Triple G all day. I'll leave it there.
But no. I'm not going to let you leave it there. In fact, I'm going to go back. I'm going to delve further. How do you feel though about, on a serious note, Murray's defense? He's got good defense, high guard, a lot of movement, nice jab, and he seems to be a tough dude. Like when people are hitting him with shots, he does take them. Yeah, they're not Golovkin.
Yeah, especially with Sergio Martinez, as we saw. But
that's right. They're not Golovkin, but surely. I think
that's the difference. Yeah. To be fair, that's when Sergio Martinez wasn't at his highest, was he? He still got those dodgy legs, didn't
he? Yeah. Even back then, he had his knees were a bit wonky, weren't they? Rob, what do you think of that fight, Murray and Golovkin?
Yeah, pretty much got Triple G, but like you said, Murray's defense is like a turtle shell, isn't it? It's just
it is.
Yeah.
So, well, yeah, I think I don't know. I reckon it could go the distance, but I'd still, if I would put my money down, like eighth round knockout.
Yeah, I'll probably say 10 round knockout.
Yeah, not bad.
Yeah.
It's tough, isn't it? I think the main issue for me is not so much what Murray does. Calm package back. What's up, brother? Sound check.
Yeah, what's happening?
Yeah, what's going on, dude? You cool?
Yeah, is that better? Yeah.
Yeah, I can see you, man. You cool? You walk around the hood, man. What's going on?
I had it on my laptop, and I think my laptop's playing up, so making a bit of noise.
That's it. You sound crystal clear now, brother. Crystal clear.
No worries.
Right. So, we spoke about the Carson Jones and Brian Rose stoppage. We got our thoughts out. What do you think of it? You've seen the fight.
Mm-hmm.
Give me your thoughts, man.
I thought it was a bad stoppage.
Okay.
I think at the end of the day, you're right in the sense that we've seen worse, especially on this side of the pond. But I don't think it was a good stoppage at all. I think at least he should have. I mean, what's the worst that would have happened if he had let Carson Jones keep punching? Is that Brian Rose would have gone down. Now, I think any fighter in that situation deserves to at least sort of have that chance where he's been knocked down, because quite often, obviously, I box myself, and luckily I haven't really experienced getting knocked down, but I know from a lot of fighters it helps them. The knockdown, in fact, it helps them. They get at least 8 seconds to kind of recover and get back, and being the fact that there was only a couple of seconds left in the round, that's why I feel it was a bad stoppage. I think he should have. I think he was probably on his way down, and he should have been allowed to go down and then see if he could have got back up and how he would have reacted after the knockdown.
What would you say if I presented the argument to you that why didn't Brian Rose take the knee? If he'd have took the knee, he might have saved himself all his shit.
Yeah, 100%. That's fair enough. That's probably what he should have done.
That's irony, isn't it?
That is what he should have done. But I want to use the word that's inexperienced. He shouldn't really be showing inexperience like that. I guess just in the moment he didn't think. I'm sure if you've put that question to him, he would have said I definitely would have taken a knee. But I don't know, man. I just think, like you said, referees here jump in way too early and it's not right. It's not right because it not only does it rob the fight. I mean, sorry, not only does it rob the fans of a fight, but it robs the fighter of an opportunity. Because to be fair, I think he was hurt bad enough that he probably would have maybe ended up getting stopped anyway. But regardless, I just think, I don't know, man. It's not satisfying seeing a fight end like that.
It's very interesting hearing it from your perspective, obviously, because you do box, so you know what it feels like, what you know how you'd feel with the recovery and whatnot. I think to me, right, it's hard to explain this, but I'll try to word it the best I can. If you're putting it in the grand scheme of world boxing, it was a terrible stoppage, right?
Yeah.
If you're putting it into UK, because we all know the UK standards for stoppages, the referees just are paranoid, aren't they? We know that because of issues that have happened in the past, obviously, at the middleweights and whatnot.
Yeah, but do you know what, Wingy? Do you know what my problem with that is? Yeah, is that it's almost like saying, "Oh, do you know what? We're used to this sort of thing, so we should just accept it, right?"
Yeah, I hear you, yeah.
And it's the whole thing. It's the whole thing about the other things that you mentioned. I think you've mentioned before that one thing you'd like to change about boxing is that why don't the judges have a face? Why aren't they put on the microphone or on the camera to justify why they've made a particular decision? At the end of the day, just because we're used to something, it doesn't mean we should just accept it. Do you see what I'm trying to say?
I totally agree. No, 100% agree with you. I do agree with you. That's basically my issue. It's a difficult thing. It's like I said, there was a fight on the same night, on the same card, where there was the same kind of stoppage. No one said a word because the fighters aren't that prominent. And if this was Carson Jones that was stopped in that way, I would put my month's wages on it that there would be no fuss. People say good stoppage. Jones was going to get hurt anyway. It's only because it's Brian Rose. It's only because it's Brian Rose why there's such a fuss. Now, do I think the stoppages in this country are bad? Yes, we're a little bit too soft and paranoid. I am a bloodthirsty demon from hell, so I do enjoy seeing really brutal fights, right? But I do think over here we're just a little bit too soft with it, and that's across the board. I think singling out this one fight is good because it opens the debate, but my point is this one stoppage isn't worse than other stoppages over here in this country.
Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, to be honest, a lot of and I don't know, maybe I don't know how many people are going to agree with this, but another stoppage that I had a massive issue with, and it just goes back to the point you've made, because people didn't make a deal because it wasn't the sort of the home fighter losing, was when James DeGale fought Periban recently. Now, I personally think that was ironically enough, Howard Foster was the referee for that fight. And
Howard, your boy Foster.
I thought that was a ridiculous stoppage. But the reason why nobody said anything about it is because it was Periban the one getting stopped. Now, like you said, had that been James DeGale, we probably would have been talking about it a lot more. Like
exactly,
we are with
that's exactly my point. Even oh my god, I forgot who did he face? Oh my god. On the George Groves Carl Froch bill. Totally forgot. Who did he face?
That's
Gonzalez.
Fight, isn't it? Yeah, Gonzalez.
Even that stoppage, it was a good stoppage, but you could argue the same, like the Americans would argue the same thing for that. Because he wasn't knocked out cold, was he? He was on his feet, I believe, wasn't he? Yeah, so do you see what I'm saying? Like, if that was James DeGale in Gonzalez's position, I would go, oh my God, I guess it's Gonzalez, we don't say anything. What I tried to do, and I've always tried to do, is keep my channel on a level playing field, no matter who the fighter is. Do you know what I mean? And,
but you know what I've got a serious issue with? What's the guy's name? The referee last night who stopped the fight, what's his name?
Ian John Lewis.
Yeah, I've got a serious issue with that guy because he, in the past I've seen as well, what he does is he jumps in between the action and then almost he jumps quite erratically and stops the action and then it's almost as if he's making his decision after he's jumped. So it's almost as if he don't know what he wants to do whilst he's jumping in, but then once he's jumped in, he's like, oh shit, I've jumped in, so I've got to do something now. So then he just ends up stopping the fight.
Rob, any things you want to add to that?
Yeah, that's fair. He has got a reputation for it, to be fair.
I mean, I've just seen him do it before. It's like, look, if you're gonna stop a fight prematurely, fine. Step in there and wave the hands off. Don't jump in and then start thinking, okay, what do I do now? What's my next?
I love this shit. Calm, Pack. You're in fight mode, brother. Training.
Yes.
To be fair, my issue is not Brian Rose because, to be honest, I've never really been a fan of his. I don't really. At the end of the day, okay, he got caught cold in the first round, but if he's getting hurt that badly by Carson Jones, it's not looking too good for him in the future. So my issue is not even Brian Rose, he could have been a world champion. No, forget all that. I'm just saying that, like you said, every fighter should be treated the same. The only reason we're complaining is because it's a British fighter and the fight took place in Britain. Whereas what I'm complaining about is just fights shouldn't be getting stopped like that. That's it.
Yeah, I see with that. I don't disagree. I don't disagree with that. But it's just a double standards. I think Rob made a very good point. I don't think he was here. He actually said, even if you look at some of Anthony Joshua's stoppages, now because it's Anthony Joshua, he's strong. He's obviously the popular fighter. You can look at the Michael Sprott stoppage. Sprott was still on his feet. It's the same situation, but we didn't hear a word. Yet if that was reversed and Sprott laid those shots on Joshua and then Bassett waved off, there would be uproar. Do you see what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's not the fact of the actual. It's not the fact of the stoppage. It's just the fact of the double standards for me. I do think it was stopped too early, and I think overall UK fighters or referees, should I say, need to discuss their stoppages in this country. But the good thing about this is that it's raised debate. Do you know what I mean?
No, do you know what? I agree with it, especially with Anthony Joshua. But you know what the problem is as well, is that, and to be fair, maybe we're being too hard on referees, because I'm sure it's a lot harder once you're in there and you've got these guys in front of you. Then it's easier for us to sit back and talk about what they should and shouldn't have done, but it's probably more difficult when you're in there. However, I think referees have got to understand the whole situation, and even with an Anthony Joshua fight, yeah, it could be argued that some of the fighters that he's fought and the fights have been stopped. But the difference with that is you're talking about a guy who's like 6'5" plus, and he's weighing however much he's weighing. Now, in that situation, the next shot could be life-threatening, right? So even then, I guess it's understandable if a referee might want to stop a heavyweight fight earlier. However, I'm not being funny, but Carson Jones landing 2-3 more punches on Brian Rose, I don't think that would have been life-threatening. Do you see what I'm saying?
It wouldn't have been life-threatening if Rose wasn't reacting in the way that he was. Do you understand what I'm saying? Let me finish. Rose was standing there getting banged, getting shots. Okay, we know it's Carson Jones. He doesn't have that much power. But he did. The only thing I will strongly disagree with people on, he wasn't reacting well. He took 8 shots unanswered. He lost his legs twice. And even after the stoppage, there's like I'd say about 2 seconds where Rose, first you don't know what's going on. Then he goes, what? He wasn't with it. Now, it was early. I do want to see more UK stoppages not be like that. But for the standard of UK stoppages, I don't think this was any worse than some of the other ones we've seen. I've just got to be honest.
Yeah, no, that's the truth. That's what it is. But it's just disappointing that we have to put up with it just because it happens. Often.
I agree. All right, let's move on before me and Carmpat start knuckling up. Heavyweight, heavyweight versus welterweight. Do you know what I mean? We'll get it on, baby. Yeah. Right. We spoke quickly about Golovkin versus Murray. Carmpat, you got any thoughts about that fight? Come on, Murray.
Oh man, I want Murray to do well because I'm still disappointed about his result against Martinez. But I don't know, man. I don't think he has enough power to keep Golovkin honest for long enough. That's it. And once I think Golovkin starts landing on Murray, it doesn't look good.
To me, that's the main issue. It's like, if Murray had power, not even power to knock him out cold, just a decent dig, he'd be able to at least keep Golovkin moving a little bit. But I just feel Golovkin's going to think, I can just walk through this, and it's just a horrible situation. All right, Nishad, you got any more things you want to add before we move on, brother?
No, I think I second that, really, yeah.
Cool.
I think Golovkin's going to win, yeah.
David Lemieux has called out Golovkin. Do you know what? Respect to him. I've always liked David Lemieux. Followed him for a long time. Rob, what are your thoughts on Golovkin and Lemieux? Good fight?
Yeah, I think it's a good fight, actually. A lot of people are just saying, like, writing it off. I don't think it's a good fight. Yeah,
Golovkin's going to beat him. Well, what's the point? Well, at least he's calling him out, isn't he?
Yeah.
Decent.
Yeah, but like, everyone knows styles make fights. If you just sometimes you just gotta. Sometimes you just don't know. Sometimes, do you?
Exactly, you got to see him there or not. I think that's a really good fight. To me, that kind of fight, even though the styles are different, has the same kind of you never know unpredictability as Canelo and Kirkland. You know Canelo's the better boxer. You know Canelo's probably a bit stronger. But with Kirkland, because he's the type of fighter who has that, not the same style as Marcos Maidana, but the same mentality, i.e., he'll go forward and he doesn't give a shit. If you look at Kirkland in the Tapia fight, that brother was taking licks. People were like, oh, Kirkland school Tapia. It was getting hit. It was like bang, boom, but he didn't care. He was like walking forward, bang, getting hit. And that persistence was the same thing that he done in the Angulo fight, where he got hurt early in the Angulo fight, and Kirkland still kept going and kept digging on. And Canelo will hurt him early, but Kirkland's going to be digging on in the 8th. digging on in the 9th, digging on in the 10th, if he's still there. That's what just makes it interesting. I think the Lemieux GGG fight's a bit like that. You got any thoughts on Kirkland and Canelo, Nishad?
That's an interesting fight. You know, I've always been a fan of Kirkland. You know, from day one really. He's a great fighter, but I just see Canelo winning that. As you say, he's a bear boxer. I think he's got good power as well. So I think I could just see Canelo just box him out really for 12 rounds.
Yeah, you see him outboxing and keeping him in. It's the boxing skills, isn't it?
Yeah, the boxing skills. Yeah.
Carmpack, thoughts on that fight?
Kirkland Canelo.
Yeah.
I mean, early on, it might be competitive, but I think the longer it goes, I just see sort of another, when Canelo fought Angulo, just something similar to that, where I think he's just going to start teeing off on him. Because for me, Kirkland gets hit is wide open. Although he's a southpaw, he doesn't really use that stance to his advantage. He squares up a lot.
He does, doesn't he? He really does. So, he just takes hits, doesn't he?
Yeah, exactly. And I think I don't know. You never know. It could be. I mean, he could land something on Canelo, but to be honest, I just think Canelo will just slice him up and either get a decision or late stoppage.
I hear you. Okay. Any thoughts on this Bernard Hopkins and the Carl Froch stuff? I think it's well entertaining. For those of you who don't know, basically, I think Hopkins said something like, to the effect of Froch is he's taking an easy way out fighting Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. He's taking an easy way out, blah blah blah, this and that. Chavez Jr. chimed and said, hold on a minute, don't talk about me like that. You're a coward, you fake injuries. Those two went back and forth, and then Froch actually, after calling out Hopkins, actually thought, oh, do you know what, I'm good actually. And Hopkins like, no, you mentioned it, let's get the fight on. And obviously now he's saying he's a coward. Rob, what do you think of this fight on a style-by-style basis? Because remember, styles make fights.
I don't know. After watching the Kovalev fight, I just don't know anymore.
That's it, innit? That Kovalev fight just ruined fucking everything, innit? Yeah. If that hadn't happened, it'd always have that mystery about him. On a style-by-style basis, I want to see it, but I think I don't want to see it so much to see the technical skills, to see how adept the fighters adapt. It's more to enjoy the freak show of Bernard Hopkins. Yeah. I want to see if he can do it again.
He'd definitely land more on Froch, definitely.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it will land more on Froch. What the interesting thing, which I heard somebody say, is it really is a no-win situation, because obviously people are going. It's Dwyer actually. I think it was the Godfather. He said something like Kawasaki's already been there, done it, and done it to a younger Hopkins. What can Froch do? Even if Froch knocks Hopkins out, for the first person to knock Hopkins out clean, well, he was old. Kovalev battered him up. It really is a difficult fight. Nishad. You're at home. You got your last 40 quid.
Oh,
do you pay for the pay-per-view Hopkins Chavez? Hopkins
Chavez. That's good fight.
Hopkins Froch. Do you pay for that?
Yeah, actually would. Yeah, because probably Carl Froch's last fight. Probably will be. And plus, I would love to see that fight.
What do you like about the fight? Do you like the fact that Froch is a little bit open, so he might take more hits, or do you just want to see an old man get hit and brutally hurt? You say this.
Old man. I actually want to see Bernard Hopkins' last fight. I think he's still got a bit in him. Even Kovalev's a totally different fight. I think Kovalev's amazing. So I want to see if Kovalev can actually outbox Carl Froch and see if Carl Froch can actually knock him out. I want to see that. So.
Okay, cool.
But I think Carl Froch probably win that. So.
Just out of curiosity, what do you think about Carl Froch and Sergey Kovalev? What if Froch is waiting about, see who wins out of Pascal and Thingy, and then tries to go for the 175 belt?
Kovalev wins that.
Yeah, Kovalev, yeah. Yeah, I think Carl Froch will be new weight as well. So. You
unpatriotic. Yay, the Cobra! Okay. Right, I'm going to quickly go get a drink. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring up the next topic, and I know my boy Carmpack's got this while I get a drink. 2 seconds. Because I like my drinks cold, you see, they go warm in the room. DeGale versus Darrell as a style matchup. What do you think of the fight? I want to start with Carmpack. Carmpack, when you're done, we'll go to Rob, and then we'll go to Nishad, and then I'll be back by then. So DeGale versus Darrell. One, do you think it happens? And what do you think of the style matchup, and who do you think wins? I'll be 2 seconds.
It does look likely that it probably is going to happen. I think it's an awful matchup.
Yeah.
I think stylistically, it just I can't see it gelling, to be honest. I think it'll just be a awkward chess match. I don't think either fighter will overly commit, maybe until the later rounds. So to be honest, I think it's just, I don't know, man. It's gonna be one of them one of them fights where they're both standing off, and it's just whoever's quicker to the punch, kind of like Austin Trout versus Lara. And obviously in that fight, Lara was quicker to the punch, so he done better. So I think that's what it'll come down to. Whoever's got the better hand speed and get their shots off first. But apart from that, it's going to be a boring fight, I think, to be honest.
Nishad, what do you feel?
Yes, I'll probably second that. It'll probably be one of those boring fights as well. But plus, I don't know if it can happen. I don't know where. I think the problem is where it's going to be, because I know the Durrell brothers they're not really a big fan of UK, are they?
They hate the UK.
Yeah. They absolutely hate us, man.
At the end of the day, if Eddie Hearn can
good old Eddie.
If the money's right, I think Andre Durrell will come.
Yeah, I think so.
Probably, yeah.
I think it'll be some serious cabbage, though, I reckon.
Yeah, especially the fact that obviously he's talking about doing it at the O2 and he was saying something about 3 world title fights in one night, so they should get a good crowd in and stuff. And so therefore, if the money's right, I think he'll get Andre Durrell over here.
Rob, what are your thoughts on that fight, Durrell versus DeGale?
Yeah, pretty much the same, to be honest. It's, just a chess match, pretty much. Possibly a knockout, if like you said, someone catches someone quick enough. Knockout.
Now, does anybody have a pick? I'm having issues. I don't know. I think I'll probably go for Durrell, but I don't know if it's my DeGale patriotism which is ruining my thought process. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. I'm not saying this isn't an official pick if you change your mind, but what would you say right now, Rob, if somebody said, right, put some money on it?
DeGale.
Okay. Why DeGale over? What about slick Andre, man?
Yeah, it's a hard one, but I don't know.
You just got a gut feeling about DeGale, yeah?
Yeah, just watching him, pretty much. Just obviously a lot of people probably you say as soon as you hear a fight might happen, you start to look at their fights. And, I don't know, just watching DeGale, I reckon.
I hear that. I think I don't know if you'd agree with this, Compact, or not. I think DeGale, he seems to have a little bit more fluidity about him. I can't describe it. It's like Durrell's a good boxer, but he's a little, I'm not going to say stiff, he's got movement, but he's a little bit more sort of upright with it, whereas DeGale's a little bit more, do you see what I'm saying? He's a bit more loose with it, so he might be a bit more adaptable in the fight. I'll probably edge to Durrell having the power, but I think DeGale's hitting hard now as well. If you had to make a pick, Compact, like just not an official one, an early pick right now, who do you think you'd lean to?
Honestly, it's very difficult. Honestly, can't call. It's too difficult.
It's tough
because I think at the end of the day, it's going to be. I think it might come down to because I think it might come down to who's literally going to push to take control of the fight.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Because as in and using their own tactics. Because I think James DeGale, what he needs to do is I think he needs to kind of be on the front foot and walk Durrell down, and then on the, obviously on the opposite hand. Durrell probably needs to would probably be best keeping it long. So whoever's able to do that better is I think is probably is going to win the fight. But I don't know. I literally don't know who's going to be able to sort of implement their game plan better in the fight. It's just the weightings. So it's difficult. I can't pick. If I had to, if you're going to force me to lean towards someone at the moment, I'd say Durrell.
Cool. I hear you. Okay, we have Ryan. What's going on, brother? You cool?
How you going, man? Right?
Yeah, I'm good, brother. I'm good. Good to have you here. Thanks for joining us, man. Right, we've been talking about. I'm going to shoot some topics off, and any one out of these you want to pick, go for. The Brian Rose stoppage, Golovkin Murray, Hopkins versus Froch, DeGale versus Durrell.
DeGale and Durrell.
Okay, who do you think's going to win in that fight and why? People, we're finding it difficult to pick. We're sort of like,
yeah.
It's that type of fight.
It's going to be like a chess match. It's going to be quite. I think I'd probably pick Durrell, maybe.
I hear you. What makes you lean to Durrell? Just a style matchup? DeGale not having that
I
much
think his
power,
style is like his style, and he's got a lot of experience in that. You know, I think that's probably why I'm like leaning towards him. But the girl's a great boxer as well, so it wouldn't surprise me if he did win. So
Yeah, I've sort of, I don't know. I can't. If I had to pick, I'd edge Durrell. But
yeah,
I think my patriotic, stupid brain, or closer to the fight, I might just jump to Gale. I don't know. We'll see. I'll probably watch Durrell's fights again. I've watched all of his return fights, but I'll need to watch them again.
Do you think he beat Froch?
Yeah.
At the time, I do actually think Durrell beat Froch.
I thought he beat Froch as well.
I haven't watched it for ages. I was thinking about watching it again, but I think I liked Durrell as well.
I was just about to say that. I think when I watched that, I don't think I was doing YouTube, so I didn't score it. I just watched it with a couple of beers. I'm like, fucking hell, it's close to that.
Yeah,
fight.
same. Yeah.
Yeah. So I will watch the fight again and answer that properly. Off the top, I think Durrell took that, but I'll watch it again now.
I think so. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Moving on. Hate to do it, but Ryan's favourite fighter, Floyd Mayweather. Right, basically, I've just got to drop the news, people. All right. First of all, if anyone's listening, if you've got any questions, drop your questions in the comments section, and we will answer. Wow, someone's fallen over. It's all go here, man.
Yeah, man. As soon as you mentioned Floyd.
I mentioned Floyd, someone just collapsed on the fucking seat.
Not quite, no.
It should have been me.
Yeah, exactly. It should have been you. If you've got any questions, drop them in the comments section in the YouTube video. We will answer them. If you want to be in the podcast, it's an open hangout. You can join. Send me a tweet at UKWC Student or go to facebook.com/groups/Wingy Boxing and send me a personal message there or a message and then I'll get you on. Right, basically, Stephen Espinosa, Showtime head honcho, little nervous Espinosa, tweeted out, I believe, not long ago, a few hours ago, said, if Floyd and Showtime have their way, we'll have the biggest fight ever on the 5th of the 2nd.
Oh, my dear.
No, hold on. Stop being so negative. Do you know what? There's more positive news coming out. Everybody's saying it's around the corner. Some people say it's even a few hours away. I've got to go to my main match.
The NBA All-Stars game.
Yeah, people say it's a few hours away. Now, last time I notoriously did get a little bit overexcited about it. This time, I'm trying to be a little calm, but I feel it's around the corner. I'm not going to go to Carmpack on this yet because I've got a feeling he's going to go, it's not going to happen. So I'm going to go to the man, the guest of honour today, Rob. Tell me about your thoughts. Do you think Mayweather and Pacquiao is going to happen?
Yeah, I do actually. I think it's going to happen. I don't think it's going to be announced tonight, though. I'm not staying up again.
Oh, God, that was awkward. That's what I stayed up for, watching this. But what the fuck's going on here?
What's King Perry doing here?
Yeah, exactly, man. So, okay, Carmpack, come on. What are your thoughts on this shit? Mayweather, Pacquiao, the negotiations. It's going to be announced in a few hours.
I'm not, honestly, bro, I'm not your guy for this topic because everyone who asks me, what do you think? I just say the same thing until I see both guys at a press conference, at a weigh-in, walk into the ring. I don't really care because we've been here for a long time now. It's been like 4 years, and every year something it gets talked about again, and the hopes get up, and I start following. This year I've not really done it because I think to myself, look, if it's going to get made, it's going to get made. If it doesn't, then it doesn't. But in terms of whether it will, I don't know. How are we meant to know? Because at the end of the day, I follow the guy on Twitter, Dan Raphael, who writes for ESPN. And he is basically, the way he's talking about it is as if he's basically saying, don't be too optimistic. And I'm basically listening to what he's saying because I can't be bothered to get optimistic about it and then just nothing happen again. And we end up seeing Floyd versus Cotto 2 in May. So, the funny thing is, I jump around the screen and bounce around the screen like an absolute pillock, getting excited about it. But in my serious head, I do feel it's going to be something like Cotto versus Mayweather, and then September, Pacquiao and Mayweather. Yeah. I've just got that feeling. I think Floyd's going to say something like, I tried to make the fight. You could see I tried to make the fight. I'm going to have to choose Cotto. Do you know what I mean? And I could just feel that coming out. That's generally how I feel. Ryan, you got any thoughts on it?
I think it will happen. I don't know. I really don't know. Like, I think if it doesn't happen now, then it's never going to happen because, you know, I think it has to happen like now. It has to be like for me. Like, if it doesn't happen, I just don't think it'll happen.
Billy Joe Saunders, this is the third step aside you've had, you natter. What is going on? First, your boy Korobov, eh? Then
Aside, Manny.
then Quillin, and now damn. What is the issue with Billy Joe Saunders, Ryan? Do you agree with him stepping aside?
It's all about that step aside, Manny.
Yeah,
Isn't it?
that step aside, man.
Yeah.
Nice.
Nice, mate. I don't know. I really don't understand him, to be honest, because he always keeps on about, oh, I'm gonna have a world title, all this, and then I don't know. I don't know really. He must be getting a few quid, I suppose.
I think from the perspective of him being like a family man and whatnot, like same as myself, I can totally respect that. And if if 3 times you're getting paid not to fight, then why are you not going to
easy money?
Yeah, man.
Easy money. So
heartbeat.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that.
Yeah, man. Actually, I forget the fighting. Just give me the money. Fuck it.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm glad we're all saying that. Rob, do you have any thoughts on this? How do you feel about Billy Joe Saunders stepping aside? Or are you alright with all that?
He's almost made like £1 million out of it, I think.
Oh, it's not bad, man.
It's not bad at all.
I don't know what I can say about that. I honestly don't think he believes in himself as much either.
That's a good point. I never thought about that. That is a good point.
I don't think he can beat the top middleweights. I don't think he could. I don't like talking about Glavokin, Lemieux, and say Cotto. I don't think they've got a chance. It's definitely not Quillin. I reckon he beats Andy Lee though.
I think at the fights that were in the circle that were being talked about, I thought Dam was his best chance. Even saying that, Dam is really slick. I don't know if his chin's brilliant, but he's a really slick mover. So even that's a tough fight as well. But I think that would have been his best chance. But personally, I say get your money. Has anyone else got any thoughts on that? No, all jiggy? All right. Danny Garcia, Lamont Peterson. Okay, there's no belts on the line. 143 catch weight. Carmpack, are you sick of all this, or do you think it's cool? At least it's a good fight.
No, man, it's ridiculous. But to be fair, I heard that the belts aren't on the line, and I also heard that it's at 143. And after that, I heard that it's not even a 12-round fight. I heard it's a 10-round fight. However, Garcia then tweeted, I don't know why people are saying my fight's a 10-round fight. It's 12 rounds. And then I also saw in an interview where he basically said, somebody asked him and said, "Oh, why is the fight at a catch weight of 143?" And he said, that's still to be decided. I shouldn't have he's basically trying to backtrack and say I shouldn't have said that we're fighting at a catch weight because that's still not decided yet. Now, I personally think Al Heyman's just probably had given him a call and said to him, "Look, why are you telling people it's at a catch weight? Don't tell them that."
Al Heyman.
Yeah, exactly.
Not Al Heyman.
It's ridiculous, man. I think you said it yourself. He's getting too many passes for me, to be honest. At the end of the day, you're the champion of the world, so that comes with like a responsibility of you having to fight and defend your titles, not fight. It's clear what's going on, right? He can't make 140 anymore. He don't want to go up to 147 yet. Therefore, he's just, because of Al Heyman and whatnot, he's just getting a lot of passes, and he's able to make these little fights where he's comfortable. But it's just ridiculous. It's like a guy who holds 2 of the belts, who's seen as the lineal champion, another guy who technically shouldn't even have a belt but has one, are fighting each other.
Actually, to be fair, both of them shouldn't have a belt.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, to be fair, it should be Matisse against Herrera for the but either way, it's ridiculous the fact that they both hold belts and they're fighting each other, but the belts aren't on the line.
So I'm surprised. I don't know how Peterson even kept his belt, because didn't he get done for steroids after the calm fight?
He gets done for steroids, then gets knocked on a Matisse and still has the belt.
Still got the
Lucky
belt.
bastard, isn't he?
I am a big fan of the famous Peterson surname. I think that's just great. Yes, I think I have to be honest. I think it still doesn't sit easy with me, the fact that Matisse squashed him and Peterson kept his belt. Nothing against Peterson. He seems like a nice dude. Obviously, sometimes he has a bit of the old to get the old going. Besides that, I think he seems like a nice dude, but I can't sit comfortable with the fact that Matisse stopped him. I know it was £1 up or £1 down or whatever bollocks it was. Not good enough. Anybody else got any thoughts on Peterson and Garcia and their possible 10/12 round fight with no belts?
So it's not agreed then. The rounds aren't really agreed yet, are they?
No, because Carmpack's right. I don't know who I said was talk. I don't know who I saw tweet it, But somebody did tweet no, like a prominent boxing writer. Somebody, I don't know if it was Raphael.
Really?
Somebody did tweet no, it's not 10 rounds. It is actually 12. I don't know, but either way, I think at the moment the belts aren't on the line. I think that's pretty much certain. And that to me is just a little bit fucking ridiculous.
I think Garcia wins that fight. I think
He knocks him out.
yeah.
Yeah, probably does. Yeah, I'll probably go Garcia. But
left hook.
Yeah, left hook, yeah.
left hook.
That one
Yeah.
Morales was a beauty.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's probably. And bearing into mind that how Lamont Peterson fights anyway, starts off boxing. By the third round, he's in the chest, fucking punching him. He's open. He's just too close. He's just too forward for it. Do you know what I mean? He's just always in the way for it, I think. But it's still, regardless, it's still a good matchup. They're two highly skilled fighters. I like the matchup. It's just the whole issue surrounding it. Kevin Mitchell and his Estrada fight a couple of weeks ago. Anybody got any thoughts on that? Whoever wants to shoot first.
I think he looked really good.
He did look good, didn't he?
Yeah, really good.
Looked like prime Nas.
Oh, no, man.
No. Come on, Wiggy.
No,
I'm only joking,
Nas the man.
I'm joking. He's my favourite boxer, man. Of course he's the man. I'm just joking.
Yeah.
But I thought he looked really, really good. I thought he'd done well. And there's not really much else I can say. Good performance. Obviously, you're going to question how good was Estrada, but I don't think you should take that away from Mitchell. I thought it was a good performance. How he does against Linares, I'm not really too sure about that. Linares, last time I saw him fight, I've missed like his last two fights. He was getting hit, and his face was all bloodied up. It was like 2 or 3. I think it was 2 fights ago. I haven't seen his recent fights. Compact, what do you think about Kevin Mitchell's performance, and how do you think he does against Linares?
Yeah, I thought he done well. That's probably one of the best performances I've seen from Kevin Mitchell. That along with the John Murray fight, but even then he to be fair, you said Prince Naz but he was shooting the uppercuts.
It's the uppercut that reminded me of it.
Yeah, he was shooting the shots from low like Naz used to, but yeah, he looked good. But I don't know, man. I think I heard Eddie Hearn say, yeah, we're mandatory for Linares now, and that's an easy fight, and blah blah blah. I don't know, man. I think I rate Linares. I mean, he's obviously had a couple bad performances, and he's been stopped.
He can box, can't he? He can box, can't he?
But he can box, yeah, and he's very quick. So I think it's a competitive fight with him and Kevin Mitchell.
It's a great fight. I won't get anybody trying to pick it or all be like, oh my god, I don't know. I'll leave it for now. Compact, hold on. Hack Boxer, what's going on, brother?
How's it going on, man?
Yeah, you cool, yeah?
Yeah, not bad, man. Not bad. Just chilling.
Chilling.
Sorry, I'm late.
Nah, it's all good, man. It's all good. Right, we spoke about a lot of topics. The last one we spoke about is Kevin Mitchell's performance against Estrada. Have you got anything you want to talk about that's happened recently? The Jones stoppage, Mayweather Pacquiao. What are your thoughts, man?
Boy, I'm still shocked from that stoppage yesterday, man. I have to admit, like.
What you're shocked? You're shocked
before,
because it's such a brilliant stoppage, yeah?
Yeah, man. Well, I've seen him do it before with the Enzo Maccarinelli fight. I thought, wow, that's just like a once-in-a-lifetime mistake. And when I see him do it again, exactly the same circumstances. I just thought, different. No way, this guy is not serious. This guy should not be a British. He should be an amateur ref, just dishing out standing eights every time someone catches a clean shot. He shouldn't be a professional ref.
Just dishing out standing eights.
You know what I mean? Yeah, like I was at a show last time. The way they dish out standing eights, it's a joke. Someone catches 1 or 2 clean shots, it's a standing eight. But this guy is in the pros, so he has to stop him. It's like he jumps in, and then he thinks, shit, what have I done? It's too late.
But Brian Rose took 8 unanswered shots, and he was doing the freaking hey Macarena, hey.
Look, fair enough. He done the little dance, right? But come on, man. Like, watch Gatti vs. Ward, watch fights like that. People do these things. Unless he goes down, at least give him a chance. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, this is a difficult debate. What I said to the guys earlier is the stoppage as on its own was a bad stoppage, but it's no worse than the other UK stoppages. Like, we see loads with UK fighters when we support them who have stoppages like this.
Do you know what? I find UK refs are very, very different to American refs when it comes to stopping fights. I think they're way too quick to jump in.
Totally agree.
Way too quick, you know?
I agree. And that's the main issue for me. It's like we see these stoppages all the time, is what I've said. But I think the good thing about this hack boxer is that it opens debate now. Do you know what I mean? Like, people are going to start talking about it, right? Okay, let's sort out what we're doing about these stoppages. Let's let them go on a little bit longer. Do you know what I mean? Over the board. I don't think to single out one fight when we see fights worse in the UK is the best thing. That's my only issue. But okay, cool. Have you got any thoughts on anything else? What else have we spoke on? Any thoughts on anything else? I've got someone else. Mr. 2 MR3. Who's that?
I don't even want to mention you know what, because I'm absolutely getting wound up seeing that every day.
Pacquiao, Mayweather.
That's just, I'm not even gonna go there, you know. And you know, every time I look on Facebook, you see people claiming that the fight's done, and you always get a little bit excited, like, oh, it's done. But then it's always like people just going on rumours and hearsay. So I'm with the other guy, you know. Until I see them stepping into a press conference or stepping physically into the ring, I'm just not gonna listen to anything anymore.
But don't you want to have that optimism in your heart, my brother? Don't you just want to have that warmth?
I've had it for 6 years. I've had it for 6 years. It's driving me crazy.
Come on, hello?
Yeah, hello, who's that?
It's MR2, MR3.
What's going on, mate? You alright?
Yeah, are you?
I'm good. What do you want to talk about?
All sorts, boxing.
Then speak boxing, brother. What have you got for us?
Oh, bad stoppage, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's difficult. I mean, it was a bad stoppage, but in the grand scheme of things for the UK, I think we've seen worse. That's my thoughts.
Today I watched that Enzo Maccarinelli at Oval Mackenzie stoppage. What that referee did, that was terrible as well. You've seen that one?
I've seen that one.
Yeah, it's the same guy.
Yeah, so,
terrible.
Would you agree with me, Mr. 2? Would you agree with me that it's also the manner of how Ian John Lewis does his stoppages as opposed to the stoppage? It's like if he just stepped in there and was a bit more concise about it, that's it, it's done. But he kind of stops, looks at them, like caresses them, sort of thing, and then everyone's like, "What's going on?"
You'd think he'd learnt his lesson, wouldn't you?
Yeah, it's the hesitance which I think is the issue as well. Would you agree with that?
Learned his lesson from previous.
It's like he doesn't realise what he's just done.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's like it dawns on him a bit too late, isn't it?
Yeah.
Anything else you want to talk about,
Mr. 2? You can't just let it go on.
With all the topics we spoke about so far, you got anything else on your mind? Because you might have missed what we spoke about. Golovkin, Murray, DeGale, Durrell, Pacquiao, Mayweather, Billy Joe stepping aside, Garcia.
Yeah, I love all that. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. It'd be Golovkin's.
Say that again?
It'll be Golovkin's toughest test.
I don't know what's going on, man. It sounds like you're talking to me underwater. I can just hear rumbling and banging and all sorts, man. Get your mic nice and smooth, mate.
I'm on an iPad.
All right, you're on an iPad. All right, so, okay, what do you want to talk about out of those topics then? Come on, shoot me with something, man.
I'm just saying, I think Marty Murray will be Golovkin's toughest test. Do you agree?
I think a couple of us have thought so. I think with Murray, my only issue is the power. I don't know if he's going to keep Golovkin off of him, but I like Murray's defense. I actually think Murray's tougher than, like, us UK lot, we know, but I think Murray's a little bit tougher than the overseas crew may appreciate. So I think it could be his toughest test. It depends how well he responds to the power. And I'm also concerned about him having that high guard, and we've seen Golovkin crack Macklin and break his ribs and go low. Do you know what I mean? Just Murray's guard like that. I don't know if he's going to try going for the body. That's my concerns about that. What do you think about that, Mr. 2?
Well, I think Murray is a level above Macklin, to be fair.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. Okay then, right. Let's crack on. Let's crack on. Where else we spoke about? So we spoke about Kevin Mitchell with Strada. Right, Paul Smith going up against Artur Abraham 2. Now, this is another situation. It's not so much a stoppage, but it's the points. People saying, oh, it was a bad, because people saying it's a bad decision, it's this and that. Carmpack, how do you think Smith does in the rematch?
I mean, it depends how he fights, because from what I'm hearing, they're planning on knocking off Abraham out. I don't know whether that's just talk. I think if he tries to go in with the same game plan that he did for the first fight, but maybe step the output up a little bit more, then I can see him having success. But if he changes it up completely and almost tries to stand there and have a shoot off Abraham, I think it could turn out bad for him. So it just depends on what what sort of mentality he's going in there with. Hopefully, from the first fight, knowing that he can compete, hopefully it'll raise his game a bit, and if he can just up the output a little bit more. Because the thing with Arthur Abraham is the busier you are with your hands, the more he just tucks up and goes into his shell. So if Paul Smith can keep that over the 12 rounds, stay busy enough, then hopefully he should hopefully he'll bring it back, man. I hope he does.
Yeah, this is what I'm feeling.
I agree.
Go on, Hack. You agree with that, yeah?
I think he'll get robbed on cards again.
That's it. He's just going to get robbed. So you think he won the first time around, yeah?
No, I don't think he actually won, but the cards were closer than they were.
Totally agree. Yeah, totally agree. I totally agree with that.
And if the cards were closer, they wouldn't have been the controversy. He probably wouldn't have got the rematch, so it did him a favour, probably.
Spot on. Yeah, bang on. I totally agree with that. What are your thoughts, Hack, on the rematch after Abraham, Paul Smith 2? Do you think all of belly aching was finally, as people were saying it is, belly aching? Do you think his belly aching has finally won him this deserved fight, and will he take it this time?
Yeah, I hope he does, yeah. And then he brings it back over here. We get some good matches over here, don't we?
Hack Boxer, what do you think about it?
See, I thought he won the first time round, but that was when I was just watching it and chilling, and I wanted him to win as well. I didn't score it. I reckon if I watched the replay and I scored it and everything, I'd probably agree with you.
Yeah, if you watch the replay.
As for the rematch, I'm not sure with the rematch, you know. I'm not sure about Paul Smith, you know. I mean, you've got to remember Paul Smith, he's not the best. But then again, neither is Arthur Abraham. That's why it's interesting.
It makes it interesting, doesn't it? Yeah.
Both of them are they're at the same point in their career, kind of, you know. They're not really spectacular fighters, but they're decent enough to still just about be at that level. But I think whoever wins, I can't see them holding it for long, especially Paul Smith. I think he'll get that taken off him, you know, pretty quick.
Pretty quick. Ryan, what do you think about Arthur Abraham?
Hey, I'm just being honest.
No, it's cool, it's cool. What do you think about Arthur Abraham and Paul Smith too, Ryan?
I think I don't think he won the first fight, but like he said, the controversy done him a favour to get in the rematch. So I think it'll be pretty much the same as the first fight, to be honest. I don't think it'll be that much different.
Yeah, if I was put on the spot right now, I'd probably say that. But I was starting to have the little feeling, thinking, I don't know if Smith can do this again. I don't know if that's just my excitement, what I want to happen. On the cold, harsh day of the actual fight, or night of the fight, I don't know if it'll actually play out like that, whether it's just me wanting it to happen. Do you know what I mean? Carmpack, you got any thoughts on Smith and Abraham 2?
I was the first one to give you my thoughts, bro.
Oh, was you? Shit, man, I've had too many fucking bullets. Move on, baby. Right, okay. Right, what have we got next? Right, let's see if we've had anybody got any questions in the background. All good. And if any of you lot got your TVs on, can you please turn them down and mute them, because it's like coming out here. And I'm just going to have to mute your ass, baby. What have we got here? Hack Boxer. Oh, he's already in. Oh, yep, cool. Stuart Little, the infamous Stuart Little. He wants to hop in. So let's get him in. DNM Revolution. Right, he asked the crew, Khan versus Triple G, who wins?
Who? What? Say that again?
Hold on. I kind of read that out without actually checking out what I was reading out, so he's just having a joke.
Okay.
He's having a joke. I think that's because Khan... Fuck it now. I think that's because Khan...
the Cotto thing, isn't it?
That's right, it's the Cotto thing.
Yeah,
Khan back the Cotto.
155.
I think Khan wins.
To be fair though, at 147, I don't.
No, don't do it. Don't do it, brother. Don't do it.
At 147, I'd give him a shot, but at 155,
Steve, this is a good question. Steve Batchelor, a quick question for the panel. What are your thoughts on Kid Galahad? Do you think he's being held back, or is he just a flash in the pan? We'll go to Rob on that. Rob, are you still with us, brother?
Sorry, I didn't hear what you said there. Sorry.
Have you seen Kid Galahad fights?
Yeah.
Right, well, he's asking the panel, what do you think on Kid Galahad? So we'll go with you for that one, man. What do you think of Kid Galahad?
I don't really know.
At least he's honest.
Yeah.
A lot of people just seem to, sort of like a hype.
I think he's really skilled.
Yeah,
think him quick
potential.
I think it might be because his name, yeah, Kid Galahad.
I think it's still potential.
He's in the who wants
Word.
it, who needs him club.
Yeah, exactly that. I think he's skilled, but it's like even when I'm not saying he beats Quigg, but even when Eddie Hearn mentions about him fighting Quigg, they're always like, "Well, we'll fight him," but we're like, It's like you said, it's the who needs him club, isn't it? It's like he's just a little bit too difficult to take that big risk on. That's what I feel. Anybody else?
Is he still with McKenzie?
As far as I know, yeah.
Yeah, he is.
See, I think
yeah.
I think that's holding him back. To be honest, I could see him on Sky doing really well.
I know, but he's on Channel 5 all the time, so I think that's a good thing as well.
Yeah, Mick Hennessy gets good fights, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. I could just see Eddie
Got a
Hearn
good
doing
platform.
better things with him. To be honest, remember James Gill left McKenzie was unhappy, and I think Kid Galahad's pretty much in the same situation now.
Yeah, if he wants to fight Scott, if he wants to fight Quigg, then yeah, I think he might have to do.
He's got him to a certain point, and he's going to struggle to get him past that. I
He ain't
think.
got a chance against Quigg, I don't think.
Or Frampton.
No, I think he had.
Who hasn't got? Who said he ain't got a chance against Quigg?
Me.
Why do you feel that? Tell me.
I don't know. I just can't see it. I just can't see him. I just think he's a level above.
Okay, no, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. You'd probably have to lean to Quigg, obviously with the experience and whatnot, wouldn't you? But Carmpack, what do you feel about Kid Galahad?
He's a good fighter. Obviously, he needs that. He needs to sort of have that definitive fight. I think, to be honest, I think him and Quigg is a competitive fight. To be honest, but either way, it don't really on a larger scale, it don't really make a difference because I think Frampton beats them all. To be honest.
Yeah, I hear that.
Yeah,
And they beat all of them.
that's it.
Okay, the YouTube section, the Strongest Man 100. Shout out to you, brother. Says, I think the stoppage was early. Jones might have won anyway, though. Refs are put on the spot, and that's a tough spot to be in. But I have to admit, this is becoming a constant thing with British refs. I'll agree with that. They're stopping fights too early. We want to see fighters fight, and the fighters want to fight. The ref may have stopped a potential war. You bloodthirsty fucking beast. Right, let's move on. What have we got here? Smith. Anybody got any thoughts on Klitschko versus Jennings? Who just went, oh.
Me, Klitschko and Jennings. I don't know. It's just hearing them two names put together. It just don't sound right.
Why? Because of the nasty inside game of Jennings.
I don't think he's got a chance.
Shout out to Stuart Little, boxing royalty voice in the place. What's going on, brother? Cool, okay.
What's happening, bro? I'm just looking for my charger. So.
Look at your charger. You're right, man. How you doing? All right, I'll let him find his charger.
Yeah, man, good. What are you up to with it?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good. We've just been talking about these stoppages. We've briefly spoke about your favourite fighter, Floyd Mayweather Jr., and we're just basically discussing the Carson Jones, Brian Rose stoppage. What are your thoughts on it?
Well, the stoppage. Hang on, mate. I'll just plug this in.
Yeah, sort yourself out. You're all good.
Well, what can I say? British refereeing representing again, innit? I mean, we need to clear up.
See, that's what I'm saying.
We need a big time.
It's a constant thing that happens over here.
Yeah, we need to clear out all the rest.
All right, cool. I don't know if you're sorting out your phone.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you getting messages and whatnot, brother. Bzz, bzz. I don't know if you're charging. That's better. You're right now, yeah. So you reckon we need a clear out?
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, every one of them, mate. Get rid of every one of them.
Howard Foster, man. Get rid of him.
A young breed of refs coming through. Obviously, these refs, I mean, they just don't like any sort of violence. I mean,
yeah,
you can't referee a fight.
This is what I feel. Yeah, I agree with you. I think the American refs, they do let it go on a bit longer. And like I said, I think it's because of the stuff that's happened in the past and whatnot over here with the middleweights. It's sort of had a knock-on effect throughout time. And I can distinctly see that UK referees are a lot softer, I reckon. But it's cool.
On that point, it's what I said about Klitschko and Jennings. Will be interested to see what a US ref does. For Klitschko, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. I mean, if if you had a Smoger in that fight, he would have let that. He would have waited till Rose was knocked out, obviously. But I don't know. All right. Let's crack on. What else we got? So what was that? Was thing? Yeah, Klitschko, Jennings. Anyone got any other thoughts on that? Anybody else want to chime in? Stuart Little.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be a half decent fight as long as it lasts. But let's be real, reality kicks in. That is Vladimir Klitschko's. That's a good fight for him to shine in America. He's going to put a whooping on Jennings. There's just no way Brian Jennings can win that fight. I just cannot think of any way he can win that fight. So for me, that's going to be over in the 4 or 5 rounds.
I agree.
I'll tell you how he can win the fight with that evil inside game, like Evander Holyfield.
Do you think the ref's going to let Brad get away with this stuff?
I hope not. That's the only one thing I didn't like about Vlad, the Povetkin fight. I thought that was disgusting. It's too much.
Yeah, I said that. I said that was the worst. Well, in any other ref, USA ref definitely wouldn't have no chance. I would have
stopped that. I thought it was absolutely atrocious. But fair play to Vladimir. In his actual post-fight interview to that, he said, "I know I've got things to work on. Stuff like I was holding too much in that fight, and I'm going to make an adjustment." And we did see him. It wasn't a massive adjustment, but we have seen him openly try to fight more, and we definitely saw it in the Pulev fight. Unfortunately for Jennings, even though Jennings gets pissed off when people are saying this is a step too early, unfortunately for you, brother. Unfortunately for you, I don't think it's going to go well. That's my feeling. Anyone else got any thoughts on Klitschko Jennings?
Yeah, I mean, you said about his inside game, but David Haye and Povetkin have got much better inside games than Jennings, and look how that went. So,
definitely.
Vladimir Klitschko just...
Yeah, I hear what you're saying.
He's too much of a good boxer. He's too much of a good boxer to fall for Brian Jennings. If he gets inside, I don't even think he's got the power to knock Klitschko out. I just don't. I've not seen that. I've not seen nothing in this guy to think, fuck me, this is a savage puncher we're talking about here. So...
I think I disagree there. I think Jennings has got a better inside game than Haye. I don't really see Haye as an inside fighter. But saying that, once he gets inside, Vladimir tends to use his size and weight, and he gets away with it. And because, as you said correctly, Jennings doesn't have massive power, let's say he did get inside, what really is he going to do to Vladimir? That's the thing. Do you know what I mean?
That's the problem. That is the problem, Wingy.
Yeah, I think the only chance that Bryant's got in the fight is if Vladimir is trying to put on a bit of the show, he may be a little bit more open at times. That's the only thing I can see. Do you see what I'm saying?
I know exactly what you're saying, mate. I just don't think Jennings has the tools to exploit any weaknesses Brad's got.
Did I someone say David Haye's got an inside game?
Yeah, that's where I disagreed with Stuart. I disagreed with Stuart there. I don't think he's got an inside game.
What? All right. So what was that? So what was it when he knocked out Derek Chisora? That went inside.
No, that was slugging.
That went inside punching.
No.
So that went. So that went the inside game.
No, that was a
slugfest. I don't know about an inside game, but he can fucking whack.
Yeah. That equalises it all out, doesn't it?
That's it.
With Haye, he springs in quickly and he springs out quickly.
That wasn't inside. That was just toe-to-toe slugging.
Yeah, I don't think Haye's got an inside game, but that's my... Anyway, all right, that's that. So move on for that. What else we got? Right, well, moving on nicely, we've got Fury versus Wilder. Only talking about this because obviously we didn't do a podcast for the last 2 weeks, so we haven't missed out a couple of the things. Just very quickly, anyone's got any thoughts on that? Obviously, they're both talking about the fight. Team Vladimir said they want Wilder first, then Fury. Fury's willing to take the Wilder fight. Now, I don't know how it's going to go. Now, in a post-fight interview, I believe Wilder said he wanted like a fight first, then he wanted 3 fights this year. 1 fight after this, which could be Briggs, I reckon. Then he wants Wilder. Then he wants Fury, and then after that he wants Vladimir, all in 2015. Do you think that could happen?
No, because if he faces Fury, he'll lose, so you'll get Vlad.
How could you say that?
Yeah, you know boxing. If Fury's got too much more game than him, definitely.
Yeah, Fury is a good boxer. He's underrated. I think it was quite... I'm a Chisora fan, but I think it was quite unfair how he got totally... People saying, oh, Chisora's out of it. It's shit. It's crap. And all the movement that Fury was doing, the control, even at times when Fury had Chisora hurt, he didn't go wild. He didn't, like we've seen Fury get hit in the past. It was controlled. It looked smooth. And if Fury brings that game to the Wilder fight, sweet. The only issue is, if I had to put my money on it, I'd actually put my money on Wilder's chin over Fury's. So I've seen Fury go down twice, and I've seen Fury hurt twice in the Martin Rogan fight, in several fights I've seen him here, even in the
Cunningham.
Yeah, exactly, the Cunningham obviously.
Yeah.
Sorry, carry on.
No, the point I make on people say he's got a bad chin. Well, I disagree when you say you've got a bad chin if you get up and then win. I don't think that's a bad chin. I think.
Yeah, I hear you. No,
because having a bad chin as well as if you get hit and then you get up and then you're just ruined, and then they jump on you and then you get beat. But
fair point.
I wouldn't say that's a bad chin.
That's recovery, isn't it?
Yeah, but that's part of having a bad chin or not, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, I suppose.
Anyone else got any thoughts on Fury versus Wilder? Let's get some quick picks. If I was going to pick right now, I'd edge to probably Wilder, but I'm banking that on the fact that when he lands, I don't know how well Fury's going to take it. Compact?
Right now, I'll take Wilder.
Nishad?
Oh, I have to go Wilder as well. Yeah, he impressed me in the last fight. So.
Hack boxer?
Do you know what? I'd go with Fury because I think he uses his size more effectively.
Okay, yeah. Stuart Little?
Fury by KO.
I just love you, brother. I like the way you just blast it. Fury by KO. Get out, that is it. I've had enough. Fury KO.
I tell you what, if you break down Wilder, he stands there with his legs like in a Y shape, really wide.
He's got some chicken legs as well.
Yeah, and when he thinks he's hurt an opponent, he's like he's just on the street fight and it's like a pub fight. It's just not. He's not a boxer.
Yeah.
He turns into a fighter, not a boxer, and it's not. It doesn't look pretty. And
I just wanted to get through. Sorry, brother. Carry on.
No, I just don't think I don't think Severn was that great, to be fair, and I think Povetkin beats Wilder.
The only thing, right, two things. The only thing I think is unfair about that is that people will all say he was going to beat Wilder, and after that, I was it was a bit shit, really, wasn't it?
No, I've never seen Severn as the top 10. Everyone knows how he got the belt through fighting, obviously a tough guy, but.
Mate, 10 minutes before this podcast, you said to me Severn's better than Floyd Mayweather. What's going on, mate?
Come on now. Oh, come on, that was a secret.
And also, I wanted to just get through this section without somebody mentioning Wilder chicken legs. What's wrong with him? Come on, leave his legs alone. All right, moving on quickly. What else we've got here? Anybody got any thoughts on Kessler retiring? If not, we're moving on. Kessler retiring. Stuart Little, what do you think about this Kessler and his retiring? But it'll come back if it's Ward.
Yeah, well, I think that's a perfect. I think that's a perfect fight for Andre Ward. Comeback fight. Miguel Kessler is obviously pay-per-view in Denmark, so he's good money involved, big audience, and let's be real, he's a shadow of the man he used to be. So it should be easy work for Ward. So yeah, I don't mind Kessler coming back for that fight.
The things with Kessler, the one thing I like about Kessler is I can't think of any Kessler fight I've watched where it's like not been a decent fight, not been like an exciting fight. Even if Kessler's
tough guy,
he is tough. Even if sometimes he's a little bit slow. Even the Alan Green fight was exciting. Even if he's a little bit sloppy.
I mean, he gave Kawasaki a good fight. He did.
He did, yeah. I like
Kawasaki a good fight.
I do like Kessler. I wouldn't be averse to him coming back. I don't know how much I want to see the third Froch fight, but I wouldn't mind seeing. I think.
Nah, I don't see that.
No way.
Right.
I think if you think about it, I think Kessler coming back and fighting Ward is quite good for both. It was like just. I think Kessler coming back and fighting Ward is a good fight for both. For Ward, it's like it's not quite. It's more than a tune-up, but because Kessler's had a long time off, it's like he's not going to be at his best. And for Kessler, that's a good money fight. It's a good, exciting fight, and I'm up for it. I'm up for a decent fight. Yeah. Anyone else
Totally agree.
But though, if Ward does win, won't people just say, you know, Kessler's past it?
Yeah, that's what people.
Yeah, that's what people say. Yeah.
They'll say that. That's the first thing.
You know, you can't win in boxing. You can't win in boxing because in boxing you make a statement and there's people everywhere waiting to tear it down, and you know, boxing fans, like I said before, they're the worst forms of human life you'll come across.
Come on! Come on!
They're all fickle to the bone.
No, I know what you're saying, but brother, no.
Just wait till Triple G gets knocked out.
Oh dear, yeah, it's gonna be a sad day. Kell Brook versus Jojo Dan. Is that wonky leg? Is that lamb leg? Is that going to be an issue, or do you think it's going to be a right calm pack?
We'll have to wait until the fight starts. To be honest, I don't think it should be an issue because obviously he looked like he went through a lot of sort of physio to get it back to where it needed to be, and he's apparently looking good in training and stuff. So it shouldn't be an issue, but we'll only really find out once the fight starts. But even if it is an issue, I don't think personally that Jojo Dan is good enough to take advantage of the situation.
No,
yeah, I agree with that.
Neither do I.
I mean, yeah, I think you could chop both of Kell Brook's legs off and Jojo Dan would still
Oh my god.
Oh man, I need to take a step back. Anyone else got any thoughts on Kell Brook going up against Jojo Dan? I mean, what I saw Jojo Dan, he just didn't. I wasn't impressed. I mean, I've seen like 2 or 3 of his fights. I haven't seen all of his fights. I can't lie, but I haven't seen enough there to make me think. Yeah, I can't see enough there to make me think that he's kind of like he employs a lot of movement, but when he actually gets in, he's getting hit. So it's okay employing movement, looking slick and fucking, yeah, look at this, baby. But he's getting fucking hit with it. Do you know what I mean? And I think Brook will catch him clean.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm just disappointed at the selection. You know, I thought since he thought Sean Porter he'd finally pick, some decent fighters, but he just went back down again.
It was his mandatory.
Could pick someone else.
Man.
I think now that Brook's got the belt. Now that Brook's got the belt, he's got a lot more people watching him. He's captured a lot more people's eyes going to be watching him from America. So it's a good chance for him to really showcase himself and blow this guy away.
Exactly, yeah. With Jojo Dan.
Yeah.
Even if it's a Jojo Dan with no legs, as Stuart Little kindly gave us the image of. Andy Lee going up against Peter Quillin. I like the fight. Some people don't like the fight. Some people think Lee gets blown out. We'll go to Ryan on this one. What do you think about Andy Lee going up against Peter Quillin?
I don't really know much about that Peter Quillin, to be honest. So.
All right. Rob Plum, what do you think about Andy Lee, Peter Quillin?
Quillin's got that one.
Yeah.
How do you think he wins that fight?
I don't think he'll blow him out. I think he just wins on point. Yeah, just goes to distance. Nice fight. Both slug him, but he just lands more and just better.
The thing is with Lee, it's like he's got that equaliser, and Lee to me it's quite deceiving. I can't describe it. You guys may be able to put it into words better. Lee fights. It looks like he's a really technical guy the way he moves, but when he gets in exchanges, he's getting hit quite a lot. And this isn't just like the last 2 fights.
He looks like Frotch when he's in.
Yeah, there's something about it.
I agree with that, Whitney. I agree with that. He looks slick until there's a punch thrown at him and it's just fucking hits him straight on the punch.
That's the only way I can describe it. It's like if you just saw him on his own, like a silhouette of him moving, you think, yeah, slick boxer, long boxer. Yeah, but then once he gets close, he gets banged up, he's getting hit. It's just, I don't know.
But you know what? He looks vulnerable when he's in there. He looks vulnerable, but he's always one punch away from knocking you the fuck out.
Yeah,
so I think that's his strength. I think him being vulnerable is also one of his biggest strengths because people open up.
Yeah, that's his strength, isn't it? It's that punch. Anybody else?
I see vulnerability in Quillin's chin. If Andy Lee catches Quillin on the chin, mate, it's fucking night. I'm saying that now.
If you had to pick,
Peter Quillin is a. I'm gonna go with my boy Andy Lee, of course. Okay, I like Quillin. He's a good boxer, but I've seen vulnerabilities in this guy. I mean, he's been fighting some, terrible fighters lately, and they've been causing him problems. So, I'm gonna go Andy Lee. Andy Lee KO.
Anyone else got any thoughts on Andy Lee Quillin?
Another Al Heyman win, I guess, isn't it?
No.
Al Heyman. Right, anybody listening, if you've got any questions for the crew, we have Boxing Voice royalty. Stuart Little is in the place. The controversial Stuart Little. Have you ever wanted to talk to Stuart Little? Have you ever wanted to just get on? You can join now, and you can ask him a bloody question. Competitiveness says, all right, Wingy, what's going on, mate? Kyle D says, David Hay inside game, ha ha ha. Kyle D says heavyweight boxing, anyone is alive, underdog. And DNM Revolution, who do you technically, he's got a crew for the panel, who do you technically think is a better boxer, Adrian Broner or Mickey Bay? Anyone want to grab that one? Everyone's just sitting there cracking up. These guys are professionals, man.
Was that a serious question?
People just cracking up like I just dropped a punchline. Come on, man.
Did my ears deceive me? Did he say Mickey Bay?
Right, now let me say something to you, Stuart, all right? Mickey Bay it's got that slickness. He's got that slickness, yeah? Come on.
Yeah. He looks slick getting off the canvas against John Molina, that's for sure.
Come on. All right, let's go to Ryan, the cool and calm voice of reason. Ryan, you might not see Mickey Bay. Have you seen Mickey Bay fight?
Nah.
Oh, cool. No.
I'm not doing well today.
No, you're right, bro. No, it's cool.
You're not missing a lot, bro.
Calm Pack, have you seen Mickey Bay fight?
Yes, I have, and I think Adrian Broner is a better boxer than Mickey Bay.
Thank you very much. Thank you. That's cool with that. We'll move on. Personally, I think Adrian Broner's a better boxer than Mickey Bay. I don't actually think Adrian Broner's a terrible boxer. I think he makes it worse with his mouth, and I think if he didn't have that mouth, people would think, yeah, he's quite a good boxer. He's got good skills. He's just not the best. But because of his mouth, it makes it worse for him. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I think his offense is very good. I just don't. I think his defense is very overrated. He tries to copy Floyd Mayweather, but he's just too stiff doing it, and he's got no legs, so he's very flat-footed, Broner. But when he's throwing combinations, it's really good to see. You know, it's impressive work, but he's a bit lackluster and lazy sometimes. That's what costs him.
All right, cool. Crack on. We'll crack on quickly. Rios versus Alvarado. We didn't cover that on the podcast. Has anybody got any thoughts on that? Anybody want to touch on anything? How do you think? I mean, a lot of people are saying Rios look excellent. This is it. This is the new rebirth for Brandon Rios. I don't know about that. I think it's more down to Mike Alvarado being a bit.
Yeah. Well, I honestly believe that is one of the worst performances I've ever seen in a boxing ring by Mike Alvarado. And I'm not being nasty to. He was atrocious. And you know, he got $800,000 for that fight.
That's a lot of fucking money.
Wow.
What to put 3 rounds?
God, that's amazing.
Yeah, to put in a performance like that. I mean, obviously he's not just on the weed. I mean, when he coming in the ring, man, he looked like fucking that's crystal meth. I'm not a drug man, but I know that's crystal fucking meth.
I wouldn't know about all that shit. What was I going to say?
No, Alvarado. For me, Alvarado. He needs to take a good look at himself because obviously he's got issues in his lifestyle, and it's just not going to mix well with boxing. I mean, you can't be doing drugs and then expect to be getting in there with someone like Brandon Rios and winning the fight. You just can't, you know.
But do you think that it was a bad performance from Alvarado, or Rios just looked rejuvenated? People was talking about.
Brandon Rios is Brandon Rios, mate. You know, you could have a 1.1 Fiat Uno, and it's going to look like a Ferrari if you put it against a Reliant Robin, isn't it?
I see what you're saying, yeah.
So,
I see what you're saying.
You know, at the end of the day, Rios is Rios. Alvarado was just a shadow of the man that fought him the first and second time.
My personal opinion is that it's just standard Brandon Rios. That's how I feel. I just think that he was put in there with somebody who just wasn't at their best. That's how I feel anyway. Anybody else got any thoughts on that, Brandon Rios, Alvarado? Because you didn't touch on that. Someone's got a text. No, cool. Right, let's crack on.
Yeah, I think if that's as motivated as Alvarado can get in such a huge fight, right, in front of his own crowd, his home people, if that's as motivated as he can get and he's turning up like that, he should just pack it in, really.
Yeah, he actually got arrested. He's on a drug charge. He got arrested a few days before the fight. So he's obviously.
Yeah, see, that just goes to show, man. If he's just driving around with drugs and stuff, that's.
Yeah, and I think he's going to go to prison. I think that could have been on his mind as well. So you know, who knows? But it was a poor
he needs to take a long think about what he wants to do with his life because it's probably too little, too late now. No one's going to take him seriously. He's just let everyone down.
I mean, he made Brandon Rios look like a prime Roberto Duran, didn't he?
Yeah. So.
Right, all right. Right, wrap it up soon because we go for an hour and a half. And I got my lamb cooking. Somebody has asked a question. Lucas Matisse going up against Ruslan Provodnikov. What are the thoughts? We'll go around the we'll go around the panel. Everyone's like, oh yeah, give me the blood, the blood. We'll start off with Stuart Little. I know you like hard wars and tough fights, brother. What do you think of this fight, Stuart Little? And who do you reckon takes it?
Love everything about this fight. I mean,
great fight.
This is what boxing's about. I want to see two guys go in there and beat each other's brains out. I don't want to see them prancing around the ring, hot shotting and hugging, and whinging to the ref like Darrell. I mean, I want to see two warriors in there, you know, going toe to toe. And who better than Provodnikov for Lucas Matisse? I mean, really looking forward to this fight. Can't wait for it. And yeah, what can I say? I'm going to go with Provodnikov in that one.
Okay, Ryan, Lucas Matisse, Provodnikov. What do you think about that fight?
Provodnikov, definitely.
You go Provodnikov in that fight. Okay. Yeah. Karmpak, what do you think about that fight? Give me a mini breakdown, man.
It will be a shootout, though.
That's a good fight, to be honest. I think it's a case of who. I don't know who's gonna back up. Someone's gonna have to. They're gonna obviously head on in the middle of the ring, and then someone's gonna have to back up. And I can see Matisse backing up, but I don't know, man. I honestly don't know. If I had, they both take a shot well. If I had to say who takes a better shot, I'd say Provodnikov. But it's a tough one to call, man, because you never know. Matisse could just get on his boxing shit and just start out boxing Provodnikov, or if he just goes to war with him, then it's just a matter of whoever can last in there. I don't know, man. That's a great fight, though.
I mean, John Molina had Matisse in all sorts of bother, didn't he, in the early rounds? I mean, so you know, there's a blueprint there for Provodnikov.
Yeah, I hear you.
I don't think Matisse holds a shot as good as we think he does.
Cool. Hey, Mr. 2MR3. Sorry, Matt, I had to mute you, man. You just got so much crazy and always going on. There's a party going on. There's a little hoedown, sort of things rubbing and things rubbing against the mic. I don't know what's going on, mate. I've had to mute you, brother. Sorry, no hate. Come on the next show, innit? Sorry, mate. Nishad, what are your thoughts on Provodnikov? Matisse, the blood, the violence. You love it. You sick motherfucker. You love every minute of it.
Imagine that fight for UK ref. Gosh.
UK ref in the fight. Brilliant.
No, dude, man. This fight, man, got me crazy when I first heard it. I was jumping around everywhere. I think Provodnikov might win this. It's really 50-50, if I'm being honest. But I lean towards Provodnikov, really.
Mr. 2MR3, Provodnikov, Lucas Matisse. Give me a mini breakdown of the fight and who have you got winning, mate? Okay. Hold on.
I think Provodnikov wins that.
You got Provodnikov?
Yeah, what about yourself?
Everyone's got Provodnikov. I have Matisse. I'm not changing mine now. Sorry, go on. Who's got something? Go on.
I got Matisse as well.
I think it's just us against everyone else. And we'll go Hack Boxer. Who do you like in that fight, man?
Do you know what? I love this fight, and I'm a big fan of Provodnikov. You know, I love watching him. He just reminds me of Rocky. But with that said, yeah, everyone's picking Provodnikov, right? People are using the John Molina fight as an example as why he can beat Matisse. But how come the elephant in the room is Provodnikov versus Chris Algieri? This is a guy that lost Algieri. I got his head boxed off and couldn't finish him. So let's say Lucas Matisse, being a slightly better boxer, let's say Matisse decides not to stand and trade and go to war. Let's say he's smart, comes with a good game plan, decides to box and pick a big powerful shots here and there without trading. I see Matisse winning by decision.
I don't mean
to, can't fight like
well, the thing is, though, I don't mean to jack that.
No, I disagree because in the Danny Garcia fight, although he lost, he showed he could box down the stretch.
Yeah.
He doesn't just go at it like a madman. I think Provodnikov only knows how to fight one way, and when he comes up against boxers, let's be fair, Chris Algieri, you know, he's not the greatest in the world, is he? And he managed to box his head off clean.
Yeah, but Chris Algieri's got good boxing skills. He has. He's got good footwork, and he's rangy. He's quite, but he's just got no power. And he came up against Manny Pacquiao. That was that was his downfall, really. But
Well, he
was a
got
half-
kept in the cage. It wasn't his fault because his trainer kept him in the cage.
Never gonna escape that. It's like Deontay Wilder and his little chicken legs. No one will just let it go, will they? They'll always mention it. I think.
No, but do you know what? I'm going with Matisse 5 points.
Is it a catchweight?
He'll try to box him at least.
That's a good question. Is it at catchweight? Does anyone know?
No, it's at 140.
It's catchweight.
It's at 140.
I'd go with what Hatch Boxer was saying. I actually think Matisse has the potential to actually surprise people and box a bit more in this fight. When you look at Matisse fights, there's just little shades of him boxing. He does tend to come forward and likes a punch, but every now and then you will see him box, and he knows the threat which Provodnikov faces, and I could just see him not getting on his toes, but I could see him just being a bit more smarter with it. And also, to add to the boxing, he's also got a bit of a pop in him as well. That's where I'd go. Right, 1.5 hours. My lamb's cooking. Anybody got any other thoughts I want to drop before we bounce?
What about Huey Fury Rudenko?
Good fight, yeah, good fight. What do you think of that, Stuart?
Yeah, I mean, Rudenko, he's the one that lost to Lucas Brown, isn't he?
That's right, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Gave him a good fight.
Yeah, it would be a good fight. I agree.
If you're losing on points, to Lucas Brown, then obviously you're very limited boxing wise, and I just think the Huey Fury might have a bit too much for him boxing skills.
I can't remember whether I scored. Sorry, go on. Carry on.
Yeah, I mean, I watched the fight with Lucas Brown. It was a good performance from him, but in the day, he lost on points. And if you're going to lose to Lucas Brown, then you're better off getting knocked out because it's quite embarrassing losing on points because that means basically you can...
Undefeated, man. He's the next champion, Lucas Brown.
He beat James Toney.
Oh, you guys are harsh, man. Tony, man. Don't pick on Tony. We've had chicken legs. We've had James Toney. Come on, man. The thing is, at the time, I can't remember whether I scored it or not, but I did think that after watching it, I thought, I don't know if Brown got a little bit of a nice sort of little one there. I don't know. Do you know what I mean? I don't know if he took. I don't know. It was a close fight. I just
think Fury will box him.
Yeah,
Fury. Lucas Brown was just flying in, weren't he? He was just lunging in.
He was, yeah.
Swinging from the rooftops. Fury's not going to do that.
Fury will keep him at the end of his jab and just keep it long, I reckon.
Yeah. Good. Yeah, of course.
Cool. Right. Before we go, just want to ask Stuart Little, Mayweather Pacquiao, what you're feeling at the moment, mate.
Oh, fucking hell. This Floyd Mayweather, man. I can't wait for this guy to leave boxing, man. He's making my life a misery.
And on that note... Sorry, go on.
No, it's looking quite realistic that it could happen. Yeah, it's positive. At the end of the day, I don't think it's really Floyd Mayweather that I've got a problem with anymore. It's just his fans. I mean, just ridiculous human beings. But that's another story. But with this fight, with this fight, I'm going to stick with Pacquiao. I've said Pacquiao from the start. I'm going to stick with my man Pacquiao.
Cool.
Yeah, don't get me wrong, it's a 50-50 fight. I'm not stupid. Floyd Mayweather is a terrific fighter, but I just think Pacquiao the work rate might be enough. I think he might win on points through work. Because let's do it, Floyd doesn't throw a lot of punches. And I think against Manny Pacquiao, you're going to have to do that. Even with the timing that Floyd...
It's like the angles and that as well.
He doesn't move as much anymore over.
No, his legs have slowed down, definitely.
But he just made somebody drop out of the conversation.
He doesn't throw as much punches, but the punches he does throw, he makes them count. Them right hands, them straight right hands that snap your head back, especially against the southpaw. I can just see his timing being all wrong for him.
We shall see. Right, on that note, we'll end it. Thank you, or not see, yeah. Thank you, Stuart, for coming through. I appreciate that, man. Thank you.
No worries, bro. See you
later. Nice one, Ryan, for coming through. Nice one, Rob. Appreciate it. Compact, Nishad. And we'll do it all again next week. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Sweet, man.
Peace.